Hello Glamour Ghouls and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Midge Munster, and on this channel we do all things campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. Today we're doing something hopefully a little glamorous and a little campy. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I've been going through some health issues the last couple weeks, having some really bad gastrointestinal stuff. I've been in and out of the doctors trying to figure out what's going on there. And so I just wanted to do something really chill and simple this week. So I put out a Q&A on Instagram and so many of you submitted really good questions. I'm excited to get into this today. And I also just got some new makeup that I have been dying to try, and I thought today would be a great day to try out a fun spring 60s makeup look and do a little Q&A with you all. So that is what we're gonna do. And we got a lot of questions, so I'm gonna jump right in. As far as makeup we're gonna be trying today, I got the new Team Trixie palette from Trixie Cosmetics, and this is the most beautiful, like perfect, kitschy, retro-y spring palette I have ever seen. Look at those colors. Aren't they stunning? I specifically bought it for these like teals and these pinks because as you can see, I like teal and I like pink. So what I am specifically going to try to achieve today is a look based on a shoe. You heard me, a shoe. So I saw these shoes on the ModCloth website a while back and I had them in my cart 3 or 4 times, but I know for a fact that my feet are too wide and probably would not quite fit in those shoes comfortably. So instead of buying the shoes, I'm going to try to recreate the look of the shoes on my eyeballs. As always, the disclaimer here, if you've been around, you know I am not a makeup artist. I like to have fun with makeup. So this is definitely not a tutorial. It is just a fun time playing with makeup and answering some of your questions. So I've broken up all the questions into kind of 3 categories. We have like personal questions, then we're gonna do some YouTube/career related questions, and then of course, as always, we have a Halloween question category. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out my makeup. I'm gonna put on my foundation first. I know that you're not technically supposed to when you do eye makeup, but I always do. It just makes it easier for me. Don't judge me. So I'll try to remember to show you everything I'm using here. I use the KVD Beauty Lock-It Primer and this disgusting foundation bottle. These are really great for I like a full coverage matte quality, but this is a really hydrating primer, so it's really nice. So our first question comes from Katarina Gretsch, and they asked, how do you live your spooky, kitschy, and glamorous life when your husband doesn't partake? So yeah, if you have been around for a bit, you know my husband is not really a spooky person. He doesn't really like spooky stuff that much. Like, he's fine with it, but it's not his thing. The very just like straightforward, simple answer to this question is that I have an awesome partner. Taylor and I's relationship has really always been based on the fact that we very much respect each other's individuality and individual interests, and honestly, we only have a few things that are like the things we do as a couple that are just like specifically our things, but a lot of our stuff is like things that we each individually enjoy, and we just support the other one when we're doing those things. That has always worked really well for us. I think the biggest thing, obviously it's gotten crazier and crazier over time, but the biggest thing has always been that like Taylor knew what he signed on for when he married me, and he's always been 110% supportive of who I am and gives me space to be the person that I am and love what I love, and it's just really awesome and supportive. And vice versa. He has weird interests that he likes too. He's really into 3D printing right now, and it's taking up like a whole room in our house, and that's great. Which, speaking of, I will drop his Etsy shop in the description box because he's printing these very cool articulate like dragons right now that move. It's really cool. You can check it out if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, like I said, the simple answer is that I am very lucky and I have an amazing partner who loves every aspect of who I am, which is awesome. we're gonna start on the eyes. So we're gonna be using this color over here that is called En Pose. But I think first maybe I want to lay out where that's gonna go. I have this liner, Shockwave liner from LA Girl that is the same color. And I think maybe first I wanna use this and try to line out. Maybe I should throw down like a white base real quick. Just like a bone color, just to have something to work off of. Okay, while I do that, Am Wild Animal asked, what show or movie do you always recommend to anyone who will listen? That is gonna be Pushing Daisies for me. I love that show. It is my favorite show of all time. I actually think the last time, it was almost a year ago, like it might actually be like a year ago right now, that I did a Get Ready With Me Q&A, and we talked a lot about Pushing Daisies in that episode. Not a ton of people have seen that show. It was on in the like mid 2000s, and it only had a couple of seasons because it was a casualty of the writers' strike that happened during that time. But it's really amazing. It's beautifully shot. I absolutely blame that show for making me the person that I am now. It's very campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. I mean, it's vintage fashion, it's high aesthetic, beautiful color saturation. If you like really stylized things like Baz Luhrmann or Wes Anderson, you'll love the aesthetic of the show. It's got Lee Pace in it, he's amazing. It's like beautiful, but it's about death, so it's creepy, but also fun. There are occasional music numbers because Kristen Chenoweth is in it for some reason. Overall, just an amazing show. It's got the most beautiful pies you'll ever see in your life. Definitely buy a pie before you watch it. Trust me, you are gonna want to eat pie while you watch that show. Overall, just amazing. Everyone should watch it. It's incredible. Rochelle Palmieri asked, who's your favorite queen on RuPaul's Drag Race this season? I am a absolutely huge Willow Pill stan. I love Willow. Oh yeah, wow. That goes on really nice, really pigmented. I am definitely gunning for Willow to win. However, I also, this is just a strong season. I also love Lady Camden. I love Angeria, she's amazing. And I really like Bosco a lot of the time. I think they're all great, but I love Willow's point of view and where she's like speaking from. I have actually had some Willow Pill content planned for probably a month and a half that I have not made yet. And I don't have a good reason why I haven't made it. It's just because it's a big project, but I need to make it because I have a whole Willow Pill thing ready to go and I'm very excited about it. So I'm just trying to outline where I'm gonna put all this shadow. We're gonna do kind of a line like above the crease because I want to do like a 60s kind of twiggy eye. So I might actually kind of bring this out to kind of a point and then bring it down to the corner. I think that's kind of the shape we're going for, generally speaking. Now, can she create that on the other eye? Aaron Emsick asked, did you design your wedding ring? Can you explain it in detail, please? It's so pretty. Thank you. No, I did not design it. However, it is somewhat custom. So if you have not seen it, this is my ring, my engagement, and then this is two pieces. So this is the engagement ring and then the band is a separate piece. And it just sits in there. Honestly, I need to get it welded together really bad because it's always spinning on me. It's really frustrating. But we got really lucky. My husband was working for Helzberg Diamonds at the time that we were getting engaged, and he got a 50% discount on all their products. So that is why it is so blingy, because otherwise it would not have been. We were pretty poor at the time, actually. But the stone, this big stone, is actually moissanite. It's not a real diamond, and that was a personal choice of mine that Taylor was great about and respected. I wanted to make sure that whatever stone I had was naturally conflict-free, and the best way to do that for me was to get a moissanite stone, and as you can tell, it's like absolutely stunning, and you literally, like, you would never know it's not a diamond, and it's cheaper, and like we got a nicer stone for the price. The band, I did not expect to fall in love with. I thought I wanted just a plain gold band, and then I tried this one on and fell in love with it. And they only had it in silver, so we did have to have it custom made in the gold to match my engagement ring. So it is the only one of this type, which is pretty cool. So now I am gonna go in with the shadow, the and pose. It's really pretty. Shaunafer asked, are you teaching yourself to roller skate or watching videos, or is someone teaching you? I'm so glad somebody asked about skating. So yeah, I am teaching myself to roller skate. Actually, I used to be a really good roller blader, and I ice skated for a while. So like I have some of the foundations, but it's been years and years and years since I've really done anything. But it did come back to me pretty quickly once I started. So my best friend and I have been going just to an outdoor skating rink and practicing. I did watch a couple of videos. There's actually it's surprisingly good. It's a video of Shane Madej and Ryan from BuzzFeed Unsolved. It's one of their Weird and Wonderful World videos, and they get taught how to derby skate by this woman who is a derby girl, and she actually explains stuff really well, and she teaches them like how to fall and things. And so I watched that. So I spent a good amount of time teaching myself to fall because that's the scariest part, is falling. So I spent a good amount of time just on grass in my pads, just practicing how to catch myself when I fall correctly so I don't hurt myself. I'm getting pretty good. Like I'm definitely not gonna be like doing tricks anytime soon, but I really enjoy it. And it's nice to have an activity that gets my body moving, that is like really fun. It gets me outside. I think the older I'm getting, the more I just wanna be outside. Okay, so this is looking nice. I will say the pigment, it takes a couple times packing it in there to really get the full, especially next to that liner that was so pigmented. I'm having to pack this in pretty heavy. I think maybe it would have behooved me to do, maybe I'll just go in and add it. I think I'm gonna add some of this deeper teal, this flipping out. I think I'm gonna try to like add some around the edges of this to just set it off a little bit and make it pop a little bit more. Yeah, that's more the color actually of the liner. These are so evidently two different shapes, but we're going with it. We're going with it. What I think I'm also gonna do is take this heavy metal color. It's kind of a really buttery light yellow metallic. I think I'm gonna pop that right on my inner corner and just see if that looks good, because we're gonna be using some yellow. Just pop that right there, kind of. Okay, not my favorite, but we've committed to the choice now. Paris Sweet 71 asked, what did you love for Easter as a kid? I loved classic Brock's eggs. The maple was my favorite. I am a big old sucker for those malted like robin's eggs. I love malt anything, so I always grab some of those at Easter time. I really love this question. I'm not going to read this person's username just in case they are keeping privacy about this, but the question is, any advice for someone who just came out as bi and is in a happily closed heteronormative marriage who is still trying to find their community? Thank you for trusting me with that information and asking this question. It can be really hard being a queer person and being in a heteronormative, like cis het presenting relationship, especially for bi people. There's kind of that space where it's like you're not straight enough for the straight community, but you're not gay enough for the gay community. But what I will say first of all is congratulations on coming out and being true to yourself. I hope that you have a really supportive partner who welcomed that as well. It sounds like you do. Just remember that every part of your identity is super valid, and if you're looking for other queer people to hang out with, I would recommend just like looking around. There are a lot of places that will offer queer events in the community. I actually just found a group in Kansas City that is specifically like queer women and queer femme presenting people. And they literally just like go out and go on walks on Saturday mornings and talk and go get a coffee and check like Facebook and look for groups and stuff. But at the end of the day, what it's really truly about is just being the truest version of yourself and showing up as you are. And I think that your tribe tends to find you if you are showing up authentically as yourself 100% of the time. Okay, so I feel like I'm getting close with the eyeshadow here, at least for the time. Next, what we're gonna do is figure out where we wanna put our little daisies. So I also got this yellow NYX Epic Wear liner in yellow just to do the center of the daisies. I think that's gonna be easiest. I think I want a couple kind of like outside up here in this space, and then maybe like 3 or 4 kind of trickling down. Let's try this first side first and see how it goes before I do the second. I have this KVD Beauty Super Pomade in Whiteout. It's this little like white gel liner pot, and I think we're gonna try to use that for the daisies. I was gonna use my Maron paints, but my white is like completely grayed out, and I think that's from when we did corpse bride makeup. I think I ruined my white during that. Okay, so now we're gonna move into YouTube and career related questions. So the Pinup Ghoul asked, how did you become a full-time content creator? That's the dream. It is the dream. I mean, I became full-time by just deciding that I was going to be. I know that's not a good answer, but I mean, I just made a decision a long time ago that that's what I wanted to do eventually, and I just kept, you know, working towards that, building my following, figuring out like where money was going to come from. And after I had a nice little nest egg, after I got that deal with Spirit Halloween and just started working with more brands, once I felt comfortable, I just quit my job. I know that maybe seems like kind of a simplistic answer, but that's how it went. These are looking not the best, but you know what? We're having fun. It's fine. I'm gonna try something different on my other side real quick and see if it works better, and if it does, we gonna do that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I mean, it's not great still. This white is a little bit like goopy, for lack of a better term. Like it doesn't really meld into the skin, but that's a lot better than these big boys. So I'm gonna do some of these over here and then we'll wipe those off. So Spooky Little Halloween asked, what is your favorite part of being a full-time content creator, and what has been the most challenging part of taking it full-time? Great question. So my favorite part is, I mean, pretty obviously just that I get to do it full-time and that I get to be like creative and have fun and set my own schedule. Just the freedom of it. Like, I just feel like every day that I wake up not in a customer service job anymore is a great day. But the hardest part of taking it full-time is definitely the like self-discipline aspect, in that like no one's gonna make me work, you know? Like if there are days where I just don't feel like working, nobody's gonna come up to me and be like, you have to. Like, but yeah, just as a person who, you know, struggles with that anyway, just as a human being, and then having that be like, you know, the only way you can make money is if you self-motivate and do your job is really challenging, but it's also what I signed up for. So, you know, and I think just like anything, when you go from doing it only for the joy of it and then take it to doing it for the joy of it, but also your livelihood depends on it, is challenging because it puts a different tone to it when you do it, and that can make it not fun some days. But again, that's part of the territory, I think. Dianana Cycle, I hope I'm getting that right. Dianana Cycle asked, how does being in an influencer / reaction based platform affect your mental health? This is a great question. It's definitely challenging. I think I'm getting better at it as time goes on. I definitely have had to, you know, be really proactive about my mental health, just because as a person, it was something I already struggled with, and putting yourself out in the world for people to judge you, which is what this is, right? It's like putting yourself out there and letting people make their own opinions about you who don't really know you. And it can be tricky for sure. I definitely went through a really rough spot with it last year around Halloween time. I just felt like people were being unnecessarily cruel to me online, but then I had to remind myself that those people don't actually know me and that their opinions about me are exactly that, their opinions. And 99% of the interactions that I have with people on here are really positive. So I just try to focus on that and stay in my lane, enjoy what I'm doing, and just, you know, remember that what other people think of me is really none of my business. So we got our little flowers on there. They are far from perfect, but they are very fun. So I'm almost wondering if doing like a white line or a yellow line on top of this would be a good idea to kind of bring some more color to it. Why not? Let's try it. We're gonna use Champ right there. Wet my brush with some like setting spray and just try to drag a little bit of a line up top here. M. Sapinoff asked, tell me about a typical day in your life as a content creator. And that honestly really varies from day to day, just depending on what I have to do. One thing I really do love about being a creator now is that I can take time in my mornings. I can have slow mornings, which I love. I love just like getting up and having a cup of coffee, like watching content from some of my favorite creators in the mornings and just getting excited and inspired for the day. Ooh, I like that little pop of yellow. I think that's fun. And then just depending on my schedule, I will either spend the day pretty much totally at my computer. Like I'll usually set it up so I can spend the whole day doing one thing. Like I'm either gonna be filming all day or I'm gonna be doing like admin all day on the computer, answering emails, editing. Days where I'm editing, I'm basically gonna sit at my computer all day and edit. Something I've really been enjoying is I have been going to local coffee shops to work during the week, and that's been really nice. It just gets me out of the house, helps me focus just to get out of the house for a little while because I think there's too many distractions for me in my home. Like sometimes my brain can't filter out all the noise, so it's nice to just go somewhere with my laptop and know that all I'm doing that day is sitting there with my laptop and answering emails and working on stuff. Okay, I'm really happy with how that yellow kind of brought everything together. I think that's really fun. Now I guess I need to fill in my brows finally. I've had a lot of you on Instagram and things ask what I used to fill in my brows for red hair. And honestly, it's just like this old Morphe palette, and I use this bright orange and this like kind of brownish orange mixed together on a brush and just powder them in. It's nothing fancy. And while I do this, I'm gonna get into some of the Halloween questions. So I Am Major League asked, will there be any halfway to Halloween content? Yes, there will be. I actually believe, if I'm not mistaken, that, yeah, that'll be next Monday, so definitely stay tuned. Art by LeMay asked, thoughts on the leaked Home Depot 2022 animatronics, which if you didn't see, yeah, those got leaked last week maybe. There's some good stuff in there. I think it's really funny how hard other places are trying to go now on the animatronic front. Like I feel like that's just really, obviously they've always had stuff, but I feel like other stores are really trying to keep pace with Spirit now. I did see something really funny this morning actually, which is that Lowe's has put out their own 12-foot skeleton. They said, they're coming for your gig, Home Depot. I will say I don't like theirs as much. Personally, it's got like kind of mummy gauze on it, and it has like LED shifting color lights in the ribs and the eyes. It's just a little like, I think the Home Depot one is like scarier, like spookier. I don't know. They tried it though. Love that for them. Tiki Creature asked, what are you hoping to find for Code Orange 2022? I really love talking about this stuff. I like trying to predict what the like Halloween trends are gonna be each year. As far as what I'm wanting to see, I both think we are going to, and I hope that we see more like pastel Halloween options. I've seen the whispers of that for the last couple of years, and I feel like they were kind of maybe testing the market, testing the waters to see if that's something people would even be interested in. I just feel like pastels have been really in the last 2 years. And here's the thing, home decor for holidays, Halloween, Christmas, whatever, it always mimics the trends of whatever's trendy everywhere else in the world. Like any big trends that come along in decor or fashion, the decor for the holidays that year will match that. As an example, cottagecore got really big during the pandemic. Like people were doing slow living lifestyle, being a lot more soft about things, more earthy, more, all that. Then the last couple of years, we've really seen this boost in woods witch decor, very cottage witch, soft wood tones, nature, mushrooms, all this in Halloween decor, which is very much mimicking what we're seeing in society. I honestly hope we see more of that kind of cottage witch type stuff. I really like it. I think it's really nice and it's really different. I know some people are really like purists on Halloween and want just, the good old black and orange, and that's fine. But when you're as Halloween nuts as some of us are, it's really nice to just see something different and creative every once in a while. Another couple of trends. So this is Midge's trend watch, okay? Alert, alert, trend watch. I think something we're going to see this year is a resurgence of like 90s nostalgia Halloween. I think with millennials really coming of age where we're all like, owning homes and like being the people who are going to be doing the buying. And with Stranger Things coming back in May, I think we're going to see a trend maybe of kind of late 80s, early 90s color schemes, like really neon Halloween, that acidy green and purple together, like just very, very like throwback nostalgia. I started to see a little bit of this at the tail end of last year with those McDonald's trick-or-treat Halloween buckets, the Happy Meal buckets. People were making all kinds. I saw earrings and purses and all kinds of things mimicking those. So I really think that's something we're going to see some kind of nod to this year. It'll be interesting. Come back. Tell me if I was right later. If we see that, I'm gonna be like, tell him Midge sent ya. She knew. This is the Milani Luminoso blush. I'm just gonna put some blush on. Something else that has gotten really trendy this year is like late 60s, early 70s, kind of flower child vibes, very groovy. I don't know if we'll see that in Halloween. I would love to see that in Halloween. If we had, like a really cool, like jack-o'-lanterns with big, heart eyes, oranges and yellows. I think like candy corn scheme, but like make it groovy. I think that could be super cool. I would really love to see some of that in this year's decor. I don't know if we'll get it. Maybe I'll make it. And then as always, I think we'll see a continuation of kind of that sleek black and white modern Halloween. I also know for a fact, because I live in the Midwest, that we're going to continue to see farmhouse, and I am so tired. I'm sorry, if farmhouse is your thing, like good for you, but I live in the Midwest, which means that's like all there is here. It's just like buffalo plaid signs that say trick or treat yourself, and I'm over it. I don't want to see it anymore. I actually think I was putting on highlighter, but I think what I'm going to do is use that same heavy metal color that I used in my inner corner, and I'm going to use it as a highlighter on my tip of my nose and my cheeks. Oh yeah, cute. Oh my God, look at that. That actually would be a beautiful highlighter just on the daily. It's got like a gold sheen. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to kind of combine two questions here, and we just touched on this a little bit, but Am Wild Animal asked if you could collab with any person, company, or brand, who would it be? And then It's Danielle Cassandra asked if you could create a Halloween line to be sold in stores, what would it look like? I love both of those questions. So yeah, as far as if I could work with anyone, there's kind of two answers to that. The first is like the very just, you know, straightforward, and I think I've mentioned this before. Like the dream would be getting to a place where, you know, Target asks me to be like a John Darien situation where I would do like a specialty sideline Halloween line for Target or at home, or something where like I would design something and you could go buy it in the store. That would be the dream. As far as what it would look like, I really do think I would love to do like a groovy Halloween line with like big kind of retro florals. I don't know, something just with interesting color palettes, something very mid-century, something with a 60s flair, with a Palm Springs flair, but still very Halloween. I don't know. I think I could really go crazy if somebody gave me the materials. I'm gonna put on just a little bit of black liner because I am gonna add lashes to this look. As far as a dream collaboration just with another like person or creator, that would hands down be Christine McConnell for me. I love her. I absolutely love her. That's the whole sentence. I would love to work with her someday. She is going to be at Midsummer Scream this year, and I'm hoping to go to Midsummer Scream, so hopefully I get to meet her and chat with her a little bit, start planting the seeds of friendship. Desira XOXO asked, do you collect the Lamax Spooky Town? I just started last year. That's awesome. I do not collect it. I have a couple pieces that I really like. Specifically, I got the like zombie graveyard a couple years ago, like the graveyard party, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so cute. I have the tattoo shop, and I think I have the little like witches hut, like coffee place. So I have a few pieces, but like nothing crazy. If you want to see a really awesome Lamax Spooky Town collection, go check out Aiden Haunts on YouTube. He's adorable. He's a friend of mine, and he has an incredible collection, and he has built like the cliffs and everything to set it up. It's super cool. Lunar Pines Design Co. asked, do you think decor hunting will be any better / worse this year than last year's Ridiculousness? Bad news, friends. I think it's gonna be worse, honestly. I think it's gonna continue to get worse as far as scalpers go. I think this might be our first like normal year in a couple years where we actually see stuff in stores when it's supposed to be in stores. But yeah, as far as like scalping and shortages in that realm, I think it's going to be really bad. And I think maybe this isn't the best advice, but it's going to be my advice. If you see something you want and you're unsure, just get it. Get it. You can always take it back. I think there's going to be a real fight for the people who are actually shopping for their personal love of Halloween and not to resell. There's going to be a real issue. I'm certain of it. I think we're going to continue to see that for ever now, probably, because it's gotten so bad and it's gone unchecked for so long. I think that's probably just how it's going to be. Okay, I think I'm getting pretty close to done here. We're going to put on lashes in just a minute, but first I want to put on some lipstick. I'm thinking, since we're already in this bright theme, maybe I'm going to go with this orange. This is also Trixie Cosmetics. It's called Model Actress, and it's this corally orange. I don't know, what do you think? Is that too much for this look? I think, I'm worried this is gonna be too bright. Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, it's too late, we're doing it. At least this orange still very much fits into the like 60s color palette. While I get my lashes out, we're gonna answer one final question, which is from All Things Vocal. I'm so ready for Halloween already. Same. Any emerging themes you've come up with? So yeah, for my decor, I don't know if I've had any like specific crazy theme ideas come to mind yet, though the more I'm talking about this like groovy 70s spooky thing, the more I'm liking it. I think I definitely want to continue to build on that woods witch thing that I had in my dining room last year. I thought that turned out so cool, and like I said, it was just something really fun and different, and I think I can keep building on it and make it even more interesting. So that very well may be kind of at the top of the list. I also, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that this week I bought a coffin on Facebook Marketplace. A giant stinking coffin. It is over 6 feet tall. It's got a little bench in it. So I absolutely will be using that this year. I've never been like a huge vampire person, but I think finding a way to incorporate that coffin into something would be really cool. So maybe a vampire-y type thing, or just like more of a haunted house, haunted mansion-y type thing. Or maybe I'll bring back the skeleton banquet this year and put that in the dining room with the skeletons or something. I don't know. I love just playing with what I have every year and seeing what all we can come up with. I feel like last year I never really got to fully share my living room because I was so late to the game on finishing it. And my theme in there doesn't really change too much, but I definitely had some like ideas that I wanted to execute last year that I didn't get to. So I think that will be the other part of this year, is just further expanding on some things that I've done to an extent but haven't fully fleshed out all the way. Okay, so I think that we are done here. So I'm going to go do a quick hair and costume change, and then we will take a look at the final result. Ta-da! So this is the final look. I was able to tie in the orange lipstick by putting on this little Tatiana dress. I think this is so cute and retro, and it matches the flowers and the lipstick. I did have in these big white daisy earrings, but one of them broke on me just now, so I'm gonna have to repair that, unfortunately. And then I just threw my hair up in this quick little half hive, and I think this turned out so cute. Again, I am definitely not a makeup artist, but I love experimenting with new makeup and having fun and seeing what I can create. This really turned out just about like I had it in my head. I think I wish I could have done the flowers a little bit cleaner, but for my first attempt doing something like this, I think it looks really cute. I would wear this out right now if I had somewhere to go. Thank you all so much for submitting all your wonderful questions. I got to as many as I can, so if I didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry, but I love doing these types of videos. I always have fun answering your questions, and it just makes me feel more connected to you all, so I appreciate you indulging me and letting me do one of these every once in a while. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, keep it campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. Bye!
When ghosts come out to social.